We all like to think that Hollywood is this magical, diverse place full of talented people from all walks of life. But the ugly reality is that for a long time, Hollywood has been pretty darn racist. In fact, some of your favorite classic movies are probably guilty of racism. Here are some offensive classic Hollywood films that will make you cringe. Hello, and welcome to our channel, Screen Amuse. Before starting our video, don't forget to smash the subscribe button and click the notification bell for more amazing content. Let's get the video started. Number 5. The Birth of a Nation. The Birth of a Nation is undoubtedly one of the most heinous films ever created. Considered to be one of the worst works of anti-black propaganda, it is a stark reminder that even during the early days of Hollywood, racism still had an insidious role to play. Although groundbreaking in its use of creative cinematic techniques, it is tainted by its overt racism. Whatever part D.W. Griffith played in bringing a racist film to the screen, the source material for much of the prejudice can be found in a racist text called The Klansman, written by Thomas Dixon Jr. This piece of art has sowed fear and harmful stereotypes into popular culture until this very day, a gut-punching reminder that such views are still alive in society today. It is time for a reckoning about racism and what one must do to combat it for future generations. Number 4. Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind is a classic movie from 1939 that tells the story of Scarlett O'Hara and her quest to find true love. But what is often forgotten in these romantic comedies is that this movie makes slavery and the Confederacy seem very appealing. This romanticizing of these troubled times in history draws attention to some social and cultural values that many Americans still have trouble dealing with today. The film version, which came out in 1939, was praised by critics and was thought to be revolutionary. However, it has been pointed out that this story stigmatized America's troubled past rather than bringing attention to its shameful implications. Number 3. Breakfast at Tiffany's. In 1960, Breakfast at Tiffany's created an uproar of controversy due to Mickey Rooney's character, Mr. Yunioshi. His performance is full of a laughably offensive depiction of Asian stereotypes, from yellow face makeup and buck teeth to the shrill whines in his overly exaggerated accent. Sure, it was a different time. I'm not going to hold a movie from 1961 to 2022 standards. But, and this is a big but, if you're going to list this movie among your favorites, you have to contend with the fact that there are some pretty unsavory undertones. These neglected details, in our opinion, are important to understanding the film. Holly's ambiguities, weaknesses, and depths make her a far more fascinating protagonist than the PYT seen on so many Pinterest inspo boards. Breakfast at Tiffany's is a strange yet interesting dark film, and it's all the better for it. But if you're looking for something aspirational to watch just for aesthetics, there are dozens of other films to select from. So the next time you say this is your all-time favorite movie, we hope you can back it up with some of the film's flaws rather than just citing the fashion. Number 2. The Jazz Singer. When The Jazz Singer came out in 1927, people lined up around the block to see the first full-length movie with a soundtrack. Its star, Al Jolson, became famous overnight, but the famous movie is tainted by a racist and outdated depiction of African American life. Even though this movie was already controversial because of how it used sound, Jolson's performance 10 minutes into the movie shows how racist it is. He comes on screen wearing blackface makeup and sings Mammy, which would become his biggest hit. For many years, the 1927 movie, The Jazz Singer, was known more for being the first talkie than for its use of blackface, which white audiences at the time didn't mind. Even in the last few years, mainstream stars like Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon have used it, sometimes with what they may have meant to be a wink of irony. It is an uncomfortable reminder that even within films heralded as revolutionary could reside ugly expressions of prejudice, expressions that survive today if people do not take active steps to recognize and confront them. Number 1. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is often cited as one of the most memorable movies in cinematic history. Steven Spielberg, with his daring camera angles and complex storylines, creates a captivating film experience regardless of whether or not you're an Indiana Jones fan. But something that often goes unmentioned is the problematic racial themes in the movie. While indie manages to save the day and deliver a thrilling adventure narrative, it's still important to take a step back and analyze certain scenes in light of today's social climate. There is an alarming amount of Indian stereotypes present within this classic. Although comedic at the time, some may consider it off-putting to current audiences who are more aware of its damaging effects. Regardless, let's all hope none of us ever find ourselves face-to-face with Mola Ram. Many classic Hollywood movies have racist moments. However, it is important to remember that these films do not reflect the values of today, and that progress has been made since they were released. While it's okay to enjoy these films, we should also be aware of their problematic content and strive to do better. That was it for today's video. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We will see you in the next video.